The biggest thing I'd add to the Wind Waker is an extra 2 dungeons to get Nehru's Pearl, and a 3rd dungeon to power up the Master Sword. 3 would just work better there with Triforce. Also, the Sage dungeons at the end of the game can be done in any order. Given the way the current formula is, the 3rd Sage would probably be someone from Outset. It might necessitate inventing a new character, but I'm not entirely against that. Since Jabin's Cavern is a defense he himself put up, it would feature many unique enemies. A corrupted version of Jabun himself could make a good boss. It would also obviously be water themed, but since Link can't dive and only swim a little, it would be more like the Ocean Temple in Spirit Tracks than any other water temple in the series. The main weapon could be the Water Rod, working similarly to how it does in Triforce Hero, except it uses magic. In conjunction with the Deku Leaf, this could give Link really good maneuverability, though the height would have to be carefully calculated to stop sequence breaking. Like the Tower of Gods, King of Red Lions will be usable throughout much of this dungeon, including certain phases of the boss. The 3rd dungeon for the Master Sword empowering section of the game will be the most combat orientated, designed to be played after the other 2 when the Master Sword has already been mostly upgraded. The dungeon overall will be a fire and ice themed, with elemental arrows being featured heavily in their puzzles. In time with the fact that it's combat orientated, the main item will be a tunic increasing Link's defenses similar to a Link to the Past Ice dungeon. Like the Hero's Charm, it can be removed at will. Because I love Twinrova, I think Phantom version of them created by Ganondorf could serve as a good boss. Because these 2 dungeons grant heart containers, 8 pieces of heart will be removed from the game. This isn't too troublesome since quite a few pieces of heart are just found as treasures. I'd like the Triforce Peace Quest better if you could actually explore parts of Hyrule beneath the ocean. That's unlikely to ever happen, but I think it would be nice. Since there are 2 more dungeons, it means there are 2 more bosses, so the first challenge of Ganon's Castle will include more areas. I'd also like to refight the Helmarock King there, since it is one of Ganondorf's most significant minions. It would make sense that he'd have it in his tower. Although just so all bosses can be fought again, Godahan can be refought simply by visiting his room in the Tower of the Gods. I like it if, after the Forsaken Fortress is finished, you could encounter Tetra's pirate ship in the overworld. There wouldn't necessarily have to be anything in it but the characters. Though like a lot of games, I'd like to see a trading quest, which would be a good reason to go there. Bring back the Tingle Tuner. I have no idea why they removed it from the Wii U version when it just seems like it would be made for it. And I also think it would be nice to see Tetra trackers in the game and have it finally be released in the West. Not sure how feasible that is as an idea, but I'd like to see it nonetheless. I think the game could have a few more islands that actually have stuff on them. A lot of the islands feel very pointless, like they're just there to fill up quadrants on the map. And I do have a 3rd dungeon in the Sages part of the game, so at least 1 more island is going to have to be added to the game. Other stuff like the Nintendo Gallery or the Savage Labyrinth, I think could be islands to themselves that would make the overworld more interesting as a whole, rather than just being condensed over 7 or 8 important islands. And that's all I have to say about the Wind Waker. Tune in tomorrow where I'm going to talk about 4 Swords Adventures.